we're gonna move into an item that is really gross. To talk about.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's better.
You.
All right, I was like, what?
No, it's rats.
Yes.
Mice.
Yes.
Spiders.
Ants.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. There's a way that you can repel them and they don't want to come to your house anymore.
Yep.
And it's because Bell and Howell has done something really amazing. It's from, well, there's ultrasonic. So you hear it, you don't hear anything, your pets don't hear anything.
Right, exactly.
But they do and they scram.
Yeah, I mean, this is the humane way to rid your house of pets. At the end of the day, no traps, no poisons. These use ultrasonic sound waves. They're made by Bell and Howell, a company that goes back 100 years. And if you remember, when we were kids, we all remember the Bell and Howell projectors. They were really well known for their image work and their sound work. These essentially are tiny little speakers. Take a look at this animation, because once you plug these in, and you're getting a set of 8, by the way, it's enough to do 1 floor of the average, well, actually 2 stories of the average size house.
Yeah.
Look at this right here. When you plug these in, they immediately start emitting those ultrasonic sound waves. And as Callie was saying, ultrasonic sound waves are just basically sound waves at a frequency higher than human beings can hear. We can't hear them, but you know what? Your kids won't hear them. Your pets won't hear them. Your dogs and the cats, they're not going to hear them. But the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, and the spiders, they hear them. We don't know what it sounds like to them. We think it's like fingernails on a chalkboard or a siren or really bad music played really loudly. They just can't stand it for a long period of time, so they leave.
And you know how we know these work? Is because you call and tell us.
Yes.
You call and tell us you own however many sets. You know, you don't see the spiders anymore. To me, the 2 things on the list that I will never, ever be able to deal with. Yes. Well, the spiders and other critters, but I can even take cockroaches over spiders. Yeah, the mice. The
I was gonna say rats.
No, yeah, it's the rats.
I was gonna say rats.
But mostly the spiders.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing. These get rid of spiders. There really is no other way to get rid of spiders. I mean, short of tenting your house, if you ask an exterminator and tell them, I've got a spider infestation, what do? They're going to say, you can move out and we'll tent your house. Because that's really all you can do. But these work on spiders as well. That's what's amazing about these. And the interesting thing is, you're talking about how we know they work. Yes, because we get phone calls from everybody out there, but because the HSN legal department went to Bell and Howell and they said, listen, if you guys want to make any claims at all that these are effective, you have to have testing done. So they went to a third-party independent laboratory and had them test them against the 5 biggest species that people have problems with, and that was the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, and the spiders. And if you think about it, those are probably the ones that you have had problems with at some time, and if you haven't, you're going to. Why? Because we share the planet with these guys. And we know that they're effective at repelling those species, rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders, from the localized area in which these are working. So listen to what I'm saying right there. You have to have one in every room, okay? Every major living area of the house.
Outlet. It's just a simple outlet.
Look right here, okay? We've got this house right here, all right, next to me. And, well, okay, and on this animation, you see the way those sound waves work. You ever drop a pedal into a pond and you watch the ripples come off of it? The sound waves work kind of the same way. They bounce off of solid objects in the room, and they create what I call a force field. So the entire area is surrounded by them. Now, we have all of these plugged in. There's 8 of them plugged into this house, this model of a house right here. The way they work is really simple. When you get it home, 2-prong outlet, just plug it in like this, push that in there, and once it starts working, you're gonna start to see this little red LED flashing. See that right there? That's the only way you know that it's working, because we can't hear them. So that lets us know that it's emitting that ultrasonic pulse. Now, here's the thing. A long time ago, well, maybe not that long ago, we all learned when we were kids how we're supposed to get rid of pests by watching our parents, right? So what did they do? Well, if we had, let's say, roaches, right?
That's the only option, really.
Yeah, we would go to the store and we'd say, listen, I got a roach problem. And the nice man would take you and you'd say, okay, listen, you know what? We've got these little sticky strips right here for them. We've got these baited traps right here. We've got tablets, we've got sprays, we've got bombs. This is for roaches. Then you go back the next day and you say, you know what? I found out I got ants too. And he goes, you know what? You can't use the roach stuff on the ants. You got to buy special ant stuff. So now we've got little traps for the ants, we've got sprays, we've got bombs, we've got all these different things for ants. Now we spent money for roaches, spent money for ants. Guess what? If you got rats and mice, you can't use this, you can't use this, we gotta come over here now. And now we've got all these different traps that we have for the rats and mice. We got the sticky traps. Look how disgusting these are getting over time. I mean, they're really getting horrible. But the animals get stuck to these, Callie, and they die of dehydration or starvation.
And that's a sight to see.
And that's horrible. And there's a carcass that somebody's got to dispose of. I don't want that job.
Like,
poisons, okay? We got all kinds of poisons. This one looks like my dog's little favorite green chewies. This one looks like kitty litter right here. They do it on purpose because they want the animals to think that it's food, but your kids and pets can't tell the difference either.
That's just so scary.
It's very, very scary. And here's the other thing. The rats and the mice, when they eat this stuff, do you think they just like walk out in the middle of the living room floor and die?
Well, this is the worst part of all.
They do not. They go into your ceiling, your floors. It does. It's very painful.
And then they smell and they fall in your, walls.
They die someplace where you can't find them. Now you've got a decomposing body. And then, of course, we've got this guy. And this is the classic mousetrap right here. And, of course, these are safe to have around your food. You know, you don't have to worry because there's no poisons. Your pets aren't going to know one way or the other that these are there. My dog could care less. She has no idea. I will tell you this, though.
Don't hear.
Well, I used to have a problem because I used to have a dog and we would keep his food bowl by the door. And we would have a problem with ants coming in and trying to get into the food bowl. No more. Not happening.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah, not happening.
Absolutely have noticed that. If you have, we want to talk to you.
Yeah, and you can plug it into any outlet. Oh, in the bedrooms, totally silent, so it's not going to keep you awake at night. You're not even going to know it's there. Now, let me show you this last trap right here, guys, because this is the one that most people, you know, you talk about the better mousetrap. This is the old-fashioned one. You hear that sound in the middle of the night. Yeah, and there's going to be a body in here, and you've got to rebait this trap. But the bottom line is everything I just showed you costs money. You've got to replenish it in some way, either by rebaiting it or buying more of the sprays and more of the poisons.
And they're all poisons, and that's just it. I mean, that's an option, I realize, and that's the only option that was once upon a time.
Right.
But Bell & Howell has done an amazing job.
They have.
And that's why they sell so well. This is the only full airing of the day.
Yes.
Already about 500 people have said, I'm doing it. This is the biggest set I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, 8 is a massive set.
At a price break, too. So it's really the time. Think about your garage, your attic, your basement, your sheds.
Yep.
You know what?
Any place with
Every
power.
room, and you're getting so many this time that you can pretty much cover yourself. Plug them in. You don't hear them working, but you notice they work because you don't have the ants, the rats, the mice, the cockroaches, and the spiders.
Your favorite? Your favorite, the spiders? Well, I mean, here's the thing, too. We just came out of springtime. In springtime, you know, I always say love is in the air. So all of your mammals are making more little mammals. So you're going to have more rats, and you're going to have more mice. Now
You're
we've had...
so romantic.
I know, right? I am. But now we've had this really wet spring, and now the summertime, we're about to get hit by a little mini hurricane here in Florida. Guess what, guys? When the water table rises, the roaches and the ants look for someplace to go dry, and those roaches will come up through your pipes, okay? And I just tell people, they're gonna try to get into your house, all right? You need to have something in the house to keep them out. And if you're thinking, well, I got my sprays and I got my poison and my traps, by the time that you realize you need those, you already have an infestation in your home, okay?
Because when there's
the Bell & Howell Pest Repellers,
more than one.
These are preventive. This is a preventive measure. You install these, you forget they're there. Why? Because they work.
That's it, bottom line. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep offering them at HSN. You wouldn't buy them, so we wouldn't offer them. But this is something that is tried and true. And when Lou said that, I mean, this is an outside independent test that had to be that we undertook, or Bell & Howell, I should say.
Bell & Howell did.
Because
they wrote the check. They'll tell you.
Not inexpensive.
It was a lot of money.
It was important to prove that what we say is true.
Yes.
Now they've got to come up with something for snakes.
For snakes. You know, it's so funny how many people they always come to you like going, I got this, I got that, all these different species. At some point, we're gonna have to do more testing. But for right now, it's funny, people will have problems in the wintertime with the rats and the mice a lot because they're always looking for someplace warm to go. And then the summertime, it's all the bugs. You know, and then spiders are pretty much year-round.
Mosquitoes and flies.
Pretty much
all of that.
Those are the ones I really want to get, is mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes, oh my gosh,
those are the ones, because I hate them. Those are the ones I want to get. I really do. I don't care for them.
Often, but I hate spiders.
I really hate them. Well, and you know, the thing about this too, the best pest repellent in the world is us as human beings, okay? So when we're not around, they go crazy. So let's say that you've got a summer house. Let's say that you've got a weekend getaway place. Maybe you have renters, you know, and they're, you know, maybe you're not renting it at this time. These are great for places like that because they will repel the pests when you're not there. If you've got a shed, as Callie was saying, a boat, an RV, anything with power in it, it's going to work. And for those of you out there, people always say to me, you know what, I don't need to worry about it because I live in a high-rise building. Well, you know what, I got news for you. All these little pests, they climb. They will climb. And what's worse yet is that if you live in a high-rise building, that means that you have neighbors above you, below you, and on either side. Can you control the way other people live?
Exactly.
No.
So, but you can't control your space.
Yes.
And what I love so much about these is that you don't notice that they work until you realize, oh my gosh, I don't have any ants anymore.
Nope.
Or I don't have any, you know, I haven't noticed, like in Florida for us, for me, cockroaches are like whatever. I mean, they're just like one with the earth. But most people are like so freaked out by them. Oh, what a feeling to know that this basically just makes your place so undesirable for them. They're like, ugh, no thanks. I'm going next door.
Right.
See what, if there's a party
what
over
the neighbor's got over there.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
It just makes it uncomfortable. I like the analogy that it probably sounds like
fingernails on a chalkboard. I mean, honestly, and you know what? It's funny. People say to me, well, is there anything like that they use for people? Think about this. You ever seen these on cruise ships, especially the ones that go around the Cape of Horn and that kind of thing, Cape Horn rather? They will have these devices on them that put out sound waves that are repulsive to human beings to fend off pirates. Okay, so there definitely are applications outside of the animal kingdom that they use, for riots and things like that. And so they said, you know what? Yeah, let's use that. This sort of a version for these pests, and it really does work. And the neatest thing though is to watch your own domesticated animals, your dogs, your cats. They could care less. And I'm going to tell you something. The funny thing is that if you keep like rats as pets or mice or gerbils or hamsters, I'm going to tell you, don't put this in that room. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to kill them, but they're going to be very angry with you.
Yeah, they'll be very
angry with you. They're going to be irritable.
As they should.
As they should.
Because that's what this is designed.
Exactly.
So again, if you just tuned in, we're talking about something that really does help the unwanted. It repels rats, mice, spiders, roaches, and ants. And that's just what it was tested for.
Exactly.
So imagine if you've got other issues, I mean, you might see improvements there as well. You can do a flex pay on this, $18.48 to get this 8-pack delivered. We have passed 1,000 already. We are very busy taking orders on this. And I love how people tend to want these in the winters and the summers. Because that's truly when, like in the winter, pests try to get inside because it's cold outside. In the summer, it's the opposite is true. It's so hot outside, they're looking for a nice cold drink of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a nice, quick meal.
And the other thing too is it doesn't matter where you live in the country, you're going to have this problem. Okay, you're going to have these problems. And if you've bought another set of ours in the past, you can use these with those sets. They are compatible with each other. So you can add on to other sets of these that you may have. Now, if you're looking at this going like, you know what, I don't really need 8 because I have a single story house. Use the ones you want and then give some to friends. I'm going to tell you, they're going to love you if you give these to them because they really do work. Did I tell the story about the rat in my garage?
No.
Okay, all right. I tell this story, I tell this story all the time. Years ago, I had a rat in my garage. It ate through my air conditioning lines, okay? And it dropped off of a roof. Onto my roof and got in through one of the eaves.
One of our citrus trees.
Watch out for that.
I know.
I used to have that barrier pest control where they would come and I pay them $45 a month. They'd put poison around the house. Problem is that if anything you get under, like through your foundation, or if they can get over, like onto your roof, guess what? They can get into your house. And once they're there, they're kind of trapped. So this guy ate through my air conditioning, cost me a ton of money. So, all right, flash forward to about 2 weeks ago. Like an idiot, I gave one of my pest repellers from my garage to one of my friends who was having a pest problem, right? Guess what? Well, I haven't found the rat yet, but I found droppings.
Oh, no.
So what do you think I did? I got another pest repeller. I got it back in that garage. Oh, he's not going to win. But I put a pest repeller. And you know what? It's so funny. I'm the guy who sells these. And yet, and I tell everybody, don't forget about the garage.
Actually,
I took it out of the garage.
It's kind of cool that, I'm sorry it happened to you. But in a way, it's kind of cool because
it's irony.
because it really does explain to people how well they work.
It's important.
It is. No, it's really true. We're going to head to the phones before our time runs out. We've got Sonia joining us from Missouri, who owns them. Is that right, Sonia?
Yes, I do, dear.
And you got more today?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's great.
Tell us your experience.
I'm going to share them with my children.
Nice.
These things are super. I haven't seen any bugs, any mice, or anything that come in the, the warm months.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? They work, and they work super.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, they do. And it's great because you don't hear them working. You just notice that they work.
I know. Well, I noticed because I haven't seen, in the, summertime here, water bugs can come up. Mm-hmm. And I really don't want to dodge water bugs, okay?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But, since I got those, I haven't seen one.
See, and that's one of those cases where we've never tested them for water bugs, but we hear things from people all the time about other species. And it's funny because Sonia's from the Show Me State, so if these didn't work, she'd let us know.
Yes, they work. They work great.
That's awesome.
Spiders, they work on spiders too.
See?
Oh my gosh, that's so good to hear. I'm so glad you called. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Just dawned on me, boathouses and all this. Great idea. Thank you for that comment, Sonia.
Absolutely.
They're here for you. I know our time is running out, but it's an 8-pack and a price break.
Yeah.
Plus, there's reduced shipping, there's flex pay. You've always got a month to try a product before you make your final decision. I think like Sonia and so many others, you're going to realize it's like, oh my gosh. I remember one of the calls who said that she had this issue with the sliding glass door because for some reason that was where the little ants
would be coming in, yeah.
And all of a sudden she just she put one next to the door and it was like, oh my gosh, they're gone.
And here's the funny thing too. You don't have to do this where you put it like you have to figure out exactly where they're coming in.
Great point.
But you want to put it in an outlet, in a plug that's in an open area because they'll work over a very large area, very large space. But you just have to have it in the open. So don't put it behind furniture, your couch, a chair, a table. You know, people, if they see them, they're not going to look at that and go, oh my God, they got a bug problem. It's going to be the opposite. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, they don't have a bug problem. It actually looks like an air freshener, to be honest with you, when people see these.
True.
It really does. But it's important that that sound can get out there and it can travel.
I wonder if this looks like an air freshener sitting in your garage.
I'm thinking no. I'm going to go with no.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Something about having all these insects and the things that this repels just makes you feel like you have a dirty home.
Yeah, it makes your skin crawl a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
But you know, the funny thing is, though, that when you have these in place and you don't have all the traps out and you don't have all these things, now you start to feel clean. You feel like, oh gosh, I've got a really clean home. Cleanliness doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, folks, other than the fact that when the bugs are there, it makes you feel a little dirty.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It does.
So
on that note, we're going to go back outside.
Yay! Now that we're nice and cooled off.
Nice and cool. We're going to go up to like 98 degrees, but that's all good. Hey,
yes.
I'm so glad you're with us. We do have our Today Special coming up next, and I know it's just been an amazing hit. So stick around for it. It gives you a portable, literally gives you a charge instantly on a car without having to rely on somebody else's, kindness. So stay right where you are for the Bell and Howell. I'll remind you it's 487-484. And I do also want to encourage you to go to hsn.com and take a look at our other 10 faves. This was one of them. Top 10 faves for today. And it's always a good idea to take a look at what items that we've selected for you. We also have the top weekly 25. But in the meantime, we have a quick